Well, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Patrick, and this is, of course, Valor Aquaponics. Been getting quite a bit done this last week. As I promised, I would try to do a video every week, so here we are. I'm hoping this video might be a little short, but I say that all the time, and then my videos end up being like 15-20 minutes long. So I'll try to do my best. So we got quite a bit to show you, and just kind of briefly discuss what's up for the next week. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. So we're just going to get started right here in the germination room. I haven't shown the tilapia for a while, so the tank's a little dirty. We haven't scraped the aquarium glass, but the tilapia really don't seem to care. We did add some water to it a couple days ago, so they are doing great. We actually cleaned up the sump, but the cool thing is, I mean, everything is growing really well. Once again, this is jalapeno peppers, basil, which is overgrowing. This is cilantro, which is hit or miss. This is arugula, which I have to move as well. This cilantro is done very well. This is more basil. This is cucumber. I don't know if I showed you guys in this last video. This is what it looks like after a week. So it's very tall. I need to try to move that in the next couple of days. So, and here we actually have bell peppers. I don't know if you guys can see way in the back there. Let me see if I can focus. Come on, help me out here. So, it's not focusing, guys. So, my apologies for that. So we've got one that has actually sprouted. We've got one that's about to sprout right over here. I've got a couple more that I can see from a distance. So hopefully by next week, majority of them will have sprouted. Let me show you guys the disgusting lettuce. But this is the lettuce. This is the lettuce that we're not going to use. So we have let it overgrow. So what I've actually been doing is I've been picking it off of here and feeding these guys down here. And these guys are super friendly. He's the biggest. That's a male. He's a good dinner plate size. I believe there's 2 males in here and 2 females. Unfortunately, I don't have enough females, so I'm just hoping that I'm slowly raising the water temperature up. Let me actually give these guys some pellets. They look hungry. These guys eat so much. It's incredible. So there we go. Throw some pellets over here. So these guys are doing really well. This lettuce will actually be out of here by next video. I can assure you that, and we'll have new stuff planted. Let me throw some food in here for these guys. So we're going to head off, and I'm going to show you guys a new area that I just built. But instead of walking, I'm just going to snap my fingers and we'll be there. Wow, that was quick. So this is a new thing that I just built. That's probably why in my intro I looked a little sweaty. I actually just finished building. I mean, literally like a couple minutes before starting this video, I just finished this and filled that up with water and had the little filter. So these are going to be our breeding / quarantine tanks. So right now we don't have any tilapia that are breeding. So for now we're going to use it for quarantine. If we have any sick fish, we can actually use it in here. I'm actually going to be moving a koi in here. Actually, I'm going to be moving 2 koi in here tomorrow. I'll show you guys the one just in a minute or two, but this is all they're going to have in here. They're going to have this little biofilter in here. There's going to be nothing else in here. It does provide oxygen as well. In here, if I have to, I'll add in another air stone, but I don't think I'll need it. This is not going to get any substrate, nothing, no decorations, no nothing. It's mainly meant for breeding and making sure that the fish get sick. I don't know what I'm going to do with the top shelf yet. I'll probably put medications and food up here. Not sure what I'm going to do for lighting. It does get a lot of natural light out here, so we'll see what happens. I do want to light because this overhead light isn't doing too much, but I need something. But I don't want to basically scare off the fish. So let me snap my fingers again, and we're gonna go head over by the actual the koi that's currently in quarantine. So here we are. We're here at the quarantine tank. I'm showing you guys this one koi that we have. We had him in the aquarium, but I don't know if you can see his back, but his back is all tore up. And this is actually one of the friendlier koi that we have, which is really, it's really unfortunate that he's hurt that bad. He actually wasn't doing too bad in terms of behavior-wise in the big aquarium, but we didn't want him to damage himself even more because he's taking quite a bit out of his back there. So there's quite a bit of meat gone. I do know that he's lonely. He's not eating as much in here. I do have medication in here to help, but we will be moving him tomorrow, and I'm actually going to be moving him to the other aquarium, that other quarantine aquarium with his buddy. So he actually has a best friend that they always hang out in the other aquarium. And his buddy has a weird little spot on his fin. So I wasn't sure if that's an injury or if that's some kind of disease, parasite. So I just figured I'm gonna move the two of them into that 40-gallon aquarium together, and they can be merry, they can get better, and then we're gonna eventually put them into the koi pond. So hopefully he does better. Hopefully he does well. We'll see how he does. And then so we kind of just do this little thing right like that. So never mind the water. This was a little accident from last night. So we shut off the system last night, and Edward let this fill up, and he didn't take into account for some of the water that was left over in here, so it kind of bubbled over with the aerator. So I had to pump some of this water out into the grow beds here. So not a big deal, not a ton of water. So we're gonna come up on the deck here, and we're gonna show you this. So you guys might be like, what is going on in here? So as you can see, there is a blue liner in here, and that's mainly because we want to be able to see the fish. So, and the reason why this aerator right there is hanging is we need to weigh this liner down. So we haven't, that's not cemented into the other liner. It's just laying on top of the other liner. Unfortunately, when that air stone is laying right on top, it actually creates suction, and it actually pulls all the four corners up. So for the meantime, just to get a little bit of oxygen so that the water doesn't get too stale, we kept that in there. So I don't know if I showed you guys last time. I know I did, but for those of you guys that are just watching the video for the first time, there's actually a pump in there. There's a submersible pump in there, and you're like, why did you do something so bougie that you put a trash can in here? Basically, the trout that we're going to be getting for this tank or this pool they're going to be about 3 to 6 inches long. Actually, we were told 5 to 7 inches long. So they're still too small to fend off, to fight the current from this pump. This pump does about 4,000 gallons an hour. So to protect the fish, we actually put it inside the gas, or the garbage can, and we put a bunch of holes in it, and then we covered it in netting so that the fish can't get through there. So it's just to protect the fish. I know it looks a little wonky, but it's actually a really good design, and we actually did a similar one over here. So this has a little pump in there. So that pump does about 1,000 gallons an hour, and that actually is going to be feeding our chiller. So I did the same thing there. I drilled a bunch of holes, and I actually covered it in netting, and then you can see the hose right there that comes up and connects into there. So there is actually our underwater camera. I'm currently tweaking it, trying to get it working, or it does work. Just trying to tweak the picture a little bit so it comes out a little bit better. We tested it yesterday, it works. Unfortunately, this water, this is natural spring water. It has a lot of minerals, so it actually coats everything. So we actually had to pull that out, and I actually had to clean it because there was just a layer of sediment on it. It was just all minerals and such. So the newest thing that we did was this right here. So that is our chiller. That was actually over there by that 300 gallon. we actually put it up into the rafters. None of this is permanent. So we got slotted channel, and we actually got threaded rod, which actually we had. I don't know why. I bought it like 2-3 months ago, never used it, and then luckily it came into use. So we have it mounted. It's actually level. It's actually almost ready to go. We have to run power to it. So we have to figure out the power situation to run an extension cord. But other than that, everything else is pretty plumb. I mean, I actually, when Edward gets in here, and that's actually why that waiter is right there. So Edward actually will get in there, and I actually have to extend that out another about 2 feet, so it kind of gets more into the center, because I don't want it to suction cold water. I wanted to grab the warm water and chill it, and then dump out the cold water. So I should have maybe just turned it that way, but you know, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. So so that's the biggest thing that we've done. So that's pretty cool. So, and then and to do that, I actually had to run Ethernet cable, and there's actually Ethernet cable ran all the way underneath this pool. It actually comes from under there. So we're still trying to clean this area up. This will be done hopefully by next video. I did get the banner up today. I didn't like not seeing a banner, so I put the banner up. This is Edward's project. This is an automation system that Edward's doing. So everything that he bought from Automation Direct, mainly because Allen Bradley was too expensive. They didn't want to give us any kind of deals. I mean, we're a small fish in a pretty big pond, and you know, we're not going to get any kind of deals. So Automation Direct, we bought from them. Their software is free. Their tech support is free, so they've been really helpful. So Edward's finishing this up. He should have this done by Monday, I believe. So our system should be fully operational Monday. It is not running right now, and it's mainly because of that. So Edward's kind of finishing up. He's got these little float switches, and that's to protect our system, so that if something overflows or something gets too low, the system actually will shut off and actually notify us. So so that should be done soon. Lastly, we're gonna go up here to the koi ponds. So we still do not have any fish over here, but we have plenty of ammonia still left over from when the fish were in there, and also some of the food that was rotting. So it's still doing all right. By next week, I should be able to start putting fish in there. We're gonna just do one more test, and then as you can see, the majority of the trellis netting is up. Almost all of it is up. So the reason is because, as you can see, it looks like there's damage to these tomatoes. There's no damage. They actually fell over. They all actually ended up falling over that way towards the window. So I put the trellis netting up today so that they can start going vertical. They can lean on the trellis netting to help them stand vertically. I added a couple more over here. I actually ran out of trellis netting, so I'll actually have to order another bag and finish up. I believe I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9 more nets to make. So I think I can get away a couple weeks for this one, and then probably for those. So these are the Romas. Once again, these are Roma tomatoes. They've only been in here for what, 2 weeks? And that's the newer batch of heirlooms, and these are the older batch of heirlooms. These are actually getting to be about 3 feet tall, and that's why they fell over. So as you can see, like, the stems they're not as strong as they need to be, but they'll get better. One thing we noticed though was we thought that these weren't growing. Well, the back ones aren't growing as much, and I'll be fixing these lights tomorrow, so they're gonna look more like this. So they're gonna actually be on these, I don't know what they're called, but they're basically, it's a height adjustment for the lights. So I'll actually be bringing these 3 lights down tomorrow. But in the front, they get a lot of sunlight every day when it's not dreary outside. Right now it's raining outside. It's cold and wet in Wisconsin, but those are actually about 2.5, 3 feet. So they're actually pretty tall, as you can see in the front. A lot taller in the front than in the back. But that will change So yeah, I mean, everything's going well. We have koi in here. We actually just filled this up with water. Again, we have to top it off. But as you can see, the koi are doing well. They are getting adjusted to us. So especially this silver one right there. I call him Shamu for some reason. I think it's because he's the biggest one. He's actually also the friendliest one. So I keep saying he. I don't know if it's a he or if it's a she. I don't know. I just say he, just out of habit. It's no offense to anybody or to the fish. So it's funny because when they get hungry, this fish, along with a couple of them, will actually come right up to the water and they'll just start like moving their mouths, like basically saying like, feed me. So I just fed them about an hour ago. I will feed them again before I leave, which will be in probably about another hour. So yeah, they're doing well. I'm gonna finish this up in the showroom, which is a little bit messy because we are working. But here's the aquarium, and this is the guy right there. So I call him the ugly duckling because out of all the fish that we've had, of the original koi that we bought from the local pet store, he was one of them. And they gave him to us, and he's not a very attractive koi because his colors aren't very vibrant. But he actually is the only one that survived out of all of them. There was an issue. I think there was a power outage, and majority of them died. So, but as you can see on the side there, let's see if I can zoom in. So you see that little blotch? He's got a couple blotches. I'm not sure if that's a parasite, or if that's like a bacteria, or if that's just an injury, because there are a lot of jagged, as you can see. Oh, there, look at, there's the pleco. That's the first time that pleco's been on camera. So that's probably why they're not hiding over here. That's actually everybody's favorite hiding spot. But as you can see, there's a lot of jagged edges. I don't know if maybe he got poked or she got poked, but it also has something on the other side of its tail. So, but that one is actually best friends with the one that's in the quarantine tank. They actually always like either hang out over here, or they're actually hanging out over in this corner. So, and this one's actually probably the biggest one that we have in this tank. Probably he or she is probably one of the two biggest koi that we have. I mean, it's very big, very round. So, but just to be safe, we're going to be taking it out of here. We're going to be giving it some medication. We're going to put it with its friend. We do want to eventually get all the koi out of here because they are just way too skittish, except for this guy right here. So the one that's actually hiding in this little cave, that's actually a butterfly koi that I just received. I believe that was last week. So it's actually pretty friendly. I believe it was tank raised, so it's not as skittish. It's actually a really beautiful fish. But we'll probably leave that one in here. And then I'm going to replace the majority of the koi with some other aquarium fish. All the other koi will actually be going into the other koi pond. So so that's the goal. So then let me put the camera down. Let me put the top down to the aquarium. I don't know, Edward always leaves this up, so now bear with me because I'm adjusting the camera, so please don't, nobody get motion sickness here. Let me adjust it because I don't think anybody wants to see my balding head. So let's zoom in. All right, so yeah, so we've gotten quite a bit done. It doesn't look like it because once again, these are pretty big projects that we're doing, but officially we'll be moving stuff into those the vertical grow beds. We'll actually be moving stuff into there either end of this week or early next week, and then the grow lights will actually be turned on and we'll actually be officially running. So I mean, we're officially running because we have the other two grow beds, but I mean the vertical systems are our main system. So I'll actually be planting a ton of lettuce over the weekend actually. Probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday I'll be planting a bunch of lettuce, probably a couple hundred lettuce plants. And then just making sure that the pool is ready for trout, because we're gonna get these trout like any day. It could be this week, it could be next week, it could be the week after. We were just told that, hey, we'll give you a call a couple days before. So so yeah, we'll just see. We're buying this from a local hatchery. So it's very local. Previously, we were buying them from the West Coast and getting them imported in. We did have some health certificates, but then we've lost all 6,000 that we've ordered from them. So the first time was an Edward mistake. He over medicated the bags and he poisoned them all. That's, stuff happens. People make mistakes. But then the second time, we don't know what happened. In a matter of 3 days, they all died. They were dying a little bit here, a little bit there, but we expected that. But to have all of a sudden all of them die in the matter of 3 days was unexpected. So we're hoping that the 6-inch trout are going to be doing a lot better. So that's kind of the goal. We're going to be prepping for the trout. I'll be planting. I'll actually be moving some of the stuff that's actually in to the germination room. I'll be moving it out there, and then I'll actually be replacing a lot of the vegetables there with other vegetables, because I'm actually going to be building the other koi bed in a week or two. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, I'm always busy. I'm here 7 days a week. So like today, I had today off. I took today off from my full-time job so that I could finish up a lot of projects, which I was able to do, thank goodness. And then I go back to work for 3 days, and then I'll be back here, and then, well, I'll be here every day, still taking care of the fish. But yeah, so we're still waiting on a USDA inspection. It actually got postponed by our certifying agency, so we're waiting on that. And other than that, we're just waiting on vegetables to grow. So I mean, we have some stuff out for investors and some grants and things like that, so we'll, fingers crossed something comes through. We're not in trouble yet financially. We are still good to go for a couple more months. However, it'd be nice to have a little bit more of a cushion to get us through the end of the year. Just because we know that once these vegetables start selling, it's gonna take a little bit, to get our name out there. So the other thing too is we would really love to get our YouTube channel start to help generate some revenue. I think we're still less than 800 watch hours. So in order for any YouTube channel to get monetized, you need 4,000 watch hours. We're not even close. We're 3,200 watch hours. So if you guys are bored, if you guys are still off work, if you guys are if you just love aquaponics, please watch our videos, please share our videos. It'd be really nice to start making some money off the YouTube videos to help pay for this. Because every once in a while, Edward and I still pay out of pocket. And for example, I was renting out my boat. I have a pontoon boat, and I rented it out last month. And basically, all the money that I made from renting the boat, I put it towards this business. So I spent quite a bit of money, more money than I really wanted to, on this business. So but it's stuff that we needed. So and it's helping the business in the long term. But so anything that you guys can do to help us would be greatly appreciated. Once again, we always appreciate all the positive feedback that you guys give us. We always appreciate the likes and the shares. So please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that button, and also hit that little bell, because every time that we upload a video, every week that I upload the video, you'll actually get notified. And then yeah, and then you guys can see like all the new updates and things like that. I know nothing's really crazy going on. I can't wait till like some of the tilapia start breeding, and then we get the trout, and then and everything's just going. So I know it's kind of in the boring stage right now, because everything's pretty much built and we're just kind of waiting. But I promise, I mean, if you guys want, I can show you paperwork that we can do. But I can actually show you guys a new website that I'm potentially working on for the subscription service for the vegetables. So maybe I'll show you guys that next week. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this wasn't too long. I do appreciate you guys coming out every week and watching our videos. So remember to be the change that you wish to see in the world, and we'll see you guys next time.